Dear young African comms professional, your future self has something to say. Okay, welcome to another episode of To My Younger Self. My name is Blessing Emmanuel-Macaulay, and I am your host. Today, we're having a conversation with Veronica Owusu Ansah. She is an award-winning brand marketing, communications, and media professional whose career spans over a decade across industries like telecommunications, financial services, CSR, advertising, and the creative arts. Veronica has distinguished herself as a savvy communication strategist, driving impactful campaigns that have not only elevated brands, but also earned her recognition as one of Ghana's top 10 women in PR, a woman of excellence in strategic communications, and multiple awards at the National Communications Awards. She has worked with leading organizations including Tigo Ghana, Quick Credit and Quick Angels, TV Africa, the Ghana Library Authority, and more. She has worked there shaping narratives, managing reputation, and championing the power of storytelling. Beyond her professional milestones, Veronica is passionate about mentorship, volunteerism, and empowering individuals and businesses to thrive through strategic communications. Today, we will dive into her journey, the lessons, the defining moments, and how she's helping brands and individuals find their voice, even in a noisy world. We're going to zoom in on conversations that she would have with a younger version of herself, the version that was in the green space trying to figure out how to make this career just work for her, and everything in between. Welcome again, Veronica. Thank you so much for joining me on today's conversation.
Thanks so much for having me.
You're welcome. My usual first question is, how did you find yourself in comms?
I have an interesting journey, honestly.
I have the
To
time
be
to
honest,
listen.
I didn't think I would be a PR or comms professional. Growing up, I've said this countless times on a lot of platforms. I wanted to become a journalist. So I started my career off at the University of Ghana radio station called Radio Universe, where I was hosting a program called Open Theatre. Then from there, I was given another platform, it's an entertainment platform within the same space, to also host a show with one popular guy now called Giovanni in Ghana. So it was through that I felt, okay, so I've started whatever I wanted to do in life. So, but I wanted to be on screens, I wanted to be on radio, I wanted my voice to be heard. That was it. Now, before I actually completed Legon, I had a call from a TV station, the editor, who says, "Hi, am I speaking to this Radio Universe?" They spoke to the producer, I think the station manager at the time, and they actually wanted to speak to me. I was on air. So right after that, the producer or the station manager, I can't remember, it's been about 10, 15 years, called and said, "You had a call from Metro TV." So I was thinking, Metro TV, I don't have any business there. So, okay, so they left a number, they'll call back. Just when I was penning, the call came through again. I picked up, it was an editor. And she was like, "I've heard your voice. I think you speak well. I'd want to take you on after. When do you complete school?" Guess what? Listen, it was about a few months to completing Legon. So that meant that there was an opportunity to actually do my national service easily. I said, "Oh, I'm completing this time." That moment, he said, "Okay, we would want to take you on." The woman at the time didn't know how amazed I was. And this was a television station. It's called Metro Television. Long story short, I had an opportunity to work with Metro TV during my national service. This is the interesting twist. You know, when you do your national service or you start your national service, it's assumed, it is the norm that you go and be printing, doing photocopies, following these presenters here and there. I did a little bit of that. But I realized that I didn't really want to do that. So in as much as we were about 6 national service personnel there, I always distinguish myself to do international news, where I try to read about what's happening in Syria, Those times, Syria, Haiti, and all those, I package it. And I would want to read the voiceover under that lead. That was where the breakthrough for me. So the editor at the time said, nobody should assign Veronica to international desk again. Moving forward, she's going out as a reporter or journalist to cover stories for us. It was a little bit the truth for a lot of people in there. I mean, I think it was the very first time that thing has happened. You come there, you work like you are printing and all that. It will take like 6-7 months before you are given that opportunity. But I think I was very lucky. I had that opportunity very quick, and I actually embraced it. But you know, when you meet your seniors or your elderly people there, and some are not getting the opportunity you are getting, of course, you know how the environment, someone would say how tensious it's possible to look. But in all, I try to manage how the whole thing works. So when they have to give you an assignment where you can get something small, they won't give you that. They'll give you where you have to be hopping from one person to the other and struggling. But guess what? That was the breakthrough. That rather helped me to learn how to write and put stories together, to learn how to, write properly, because it's for my own narration. This is not like a sit-down assignment where you go and this is what happened and you are reporting. This is something you are going to see on the field and not coming to tell.
Yeah.
And these are not stories other TV stations carry. These are what you went to see, but the other sit-down assignments are what every station goes to carry or cover.
Yeah.
So for me, that was the breakthrough where there is a major disaster, there is a fire outbreak, and Veronica, go and cover this. I'll just go there and ensure that, okay, I mean, it's maybe one of these days, I would send, once I have your WhatsApp, I'll send some of the links to you. I sometimes sit down and watch these links and these stories, and I'm like, oh God, I've found it. When there is a heavy like a downpour, rains where you have to go and cover, I mean, a lot. So one day, the editor said, I think you've done a lot. There is a space here, it's an entertainment desk where nobody seems to like. Can you man that desk? I said, why not? So I started manning a desk. Nobody was really manning. Let me cut my long story short. I would say the beginning of my career in the PR space started from there. So on the entertainment desk, you just go on the news and see what is happening. Then you type and bring out some stock images of those celebrities that are concerned. You put it together and you do a story, so they fix it in entertainment space. I mean, moral. Now, when there is an opportunity where there is an assignment, nobody even calls you. So this is what I did. I'll pick a phone and I'll call the other TV stations, the colleagues that I know there, to say, today is there an entertainment? Oh, say, oh yeah, we are going here. Oh, they didn't invite Metro TV, but I'll go. That night, you realize that there's a free camera. So what would you do? You would beg them and say, please, can I go and cover this? They say, okay. Because a lot of times, I don't get the camera because they're using it for, they will say, quote unquote, important assignments.
Yes.
So when it's night, 8 o'clock, and the cameras are free, I'll beg one of the camera people and say, can you escort me? They say, oh, you every day want to, please. We went on 1-2 assignments. When we didn't get to the ground, they said, oh, come and sign. Oh, Metro TV, you're not invited. But this is the twist. One day, Ghana Music Association, it's called Musica. They did the program. They didn't invite us, but I went because I needed news. Because you are manning a desk. When I went, there were other stations that also came. TV3, GTV, other stations. But you know the usual, when they go, they do just one story. But when I went, because I hardly get camera, so the moment I get camera, I want to exhaust everything. So when I got the camera, I actually did 3-4 different story angles. One, I concentrated on the entire project. Second, I concentrated on the president of Musica. That time it was called Obo. Third, I did 1 or 2 celebrities I could actually fish out to speak to. Then fourth, I talk about the general lifestyle. So this is what happened. When the story started airing, the president for Music at that time watched all the TV stations. I realized that today this will air on Metro TV. The next day, another story will air. The following day, another story. I said, no, but I didn't invite Metro TV. So who is this lady? He drove and came to Metro TV and said, I want to see Veronica, because when I'm reporting and I'm ending, I end with Veronica Owusu Ansah reporting for Metro News. So when I signed out like that, he came and said, okay, so who is Veronica? He said, you're doing so well. Can I get the clothes? I said, yes. So from there, before anything, he said, who are you? I said, I'm the head of entertainment. We were getting letters from all sorts of entertainment events because he told them, oh, there's a lady at Metro TV. She can do a very good story for you. So that's how it started. Then in Ghana, I'm sure as you're a Nigerian, you know an event called Ghana Meet Niger. Okay, in Ghana here, the one who champions it or pioneers it is called Bolare. So Bolare actually came, also gave me an assignment. I did and said, Veronica, I think you are good. You write well, you speak well. So for Ghana Meet Niger, I want you to be the PR. I said, PR? I said, okay. I didn't even know what it was. Frankly, I went, I checked, and I realized that in PR, in journalism, there is an aspect, like, you know, when you're able to speak, there are people called media relations managers, communication managers, and I said, okay, PR, it means that you talk about the event. Oh, but that's what I do. So once I can talk about it and air it, it means that I can also be able to. So anyway, when you wrote Veronica is a PR, so you are there, you get a call, hello, yeah, please, can I get a ticket to Ghana Meet Niger? That was actually the second edition of Ghana Meet Niger. And if you ask my candid opinion, Bolare doesn't know that it was a major breakthrough for me, but it was. So it opened the way. So a lot of people in Ghana, I would say, somehow, some way, got to know me through the entertainment that I was giving the best, how I manned it, and how people got to know me reading it, and eventually becoming the PR officer for Ghana Meet Niger under Empire Entertainment. I did this for some time. Then whilst I was there, MultiChoice entered the Ghana market, Go TV. When they entered, there was the owner of an advertising firm called Primus Advertising. He was the one who got that contract. The moment he met me, he said, oh, you are the one doing this entertainment. Can I employ you? And I asked, as what? He says, as a PR or social media executive. Blessing, the salary I was getting at Metro TV and the salary I ended up getting at the Primus Advertising was about 10 times. That was when I said, no, let me pay attention to PR or
PR thing.
Yes. So I started reading about it. So me, the transition was more from journalism background through to becoming PR, understanding how the dynamics, because the transition a lot of times isn't easy at all. So that's how it started. And unfortunately, when I was exiting Metro TV to becoming, because for the Bolare, that is Ghana Meet Niger, it was a part-time. It was an annual event once a while, I think October or September, thereabouts. It wasn't like everyday thing. So when I do it, I'll get my gig, then I move. But this man wanted to employ me. So when I entered, so from that time, my name within the entertainment industry was becoming more known and all that. Yes. I mean, if you need entertainment, oh, Veronica, oh, Veronica, oh, Veronica. I mean, I can tell you that before I left Metro TV, a lot of people were trying to now be on the entertainment desk to man it. Unfortunately, the desk that nobody wanted. So I got a job from Primus Advertising, and that's where I'll say the PR media stuff, typical PR media com stuff started. Unfortunately, I didn't last there. Whilst there, I was poached by Tigo Ghana to become a communication specialist. So if you ask me where the pivotal or where the career journey brilliantly started, it started from Tigo Ghana, where I became the communication specialist, where everything about media, everything about us. In fact, it got to a point my boss wasn't even speaking. I was the one speaking. So I became too popular within the space, and yeah, I'm here today. So that's how it started. So it started from Legon, where I worked as a student broadcast journalist at Radio Universe, transitioned into Metro TV, where I was a production assistant and eventually became a broadcast journalist. I was taken on after national service for 1 year. I had an opportunity to work with Bolare at his Empire Entertainment, where I became the PR for Ghana Meet Niger, first, second, third, fourth edition. Then I moved on to start full work at PR for Primus Advertising. Then eventually someone just held my hand and said, you can do this communication specialist role at Tigo Ghana, where the whole journey of comms, I would say, started. It wasn't easy. Let me be fast to add
I
to
can
it. It wasn't
imagine.
easy, yes, but I'm a go-getter person. I don't want to be a jack of all trades, but at the same time, when I get to any environment, I try to. So, for instance, if I'm doing the communications department and we have PR, we have social media, we have digital, we have internal, we have CSR, I'd want to learn a little bit of everything for my sake, for myself, not necessarily to take on somebody's job, but to learn for myself so that tomorrow, if I would have to need that expertise, a little basic bit of it into what I do, I don't end up coming to worry Blessing because Blessing has to speak to a media person for me, or Blessing has to work, or Eunice has to work on an intranet for internal engagement for me. So basically, that's how the whole journey started and transitioned into becoming a comms personnel.
Thank you. So your journey sounds familiar, and it also sounds like something that a number of people, even in even on the different episodes of this podcast, have also lived. And I'm glad to hear. I love your intentionality, because if you were not intentional, I know that a lot of these things you would not have been able to achieve them. I
At
so
all.
while you were sharing, there was something I remembered, and I started laughing. So as part of your experience as a journalist, you were going to cover every and anything, right? Um, and this was before you went into entertainment, and it just reminded me of one time that I had to I had to walk the street of Lagos with with some women who were who were protesting, no, who were commemorating something they called the World Day of Prostitutes or something like that. And
That is a covered assignment, and that's a covered assignment for that you are assigned. So at least you know that it's an assignment. You are following a group of people, and there is a direction. Unfortunately, for my side, when I was given that space, they left me. It's called that kind of assignment I was given was it's called various.
yeah,
Various means that you go and look for it. It's
roving
not there, go and
reporter.
look for it. Yes. So
You were a roving
Laurel,
reporter. I can
yes.
completely understand. I can relate to
When it
it.
rains, that's when they will push you in.
Yeah.
Yeah. When there is fire, then they'll push you in.
But I mean,
It's, a,
all of that
it's an
has also
interesting place,
contributed.
but it's
Yeah,
all good.
it has
Honestly,
contributed. No, it has contributed to who you are right now. It
yeah,
has
yeah, yeah,
contributed to you being the person that can think on your feet, and you're not necessarily waiting for hand me downs. It has also contributed to you being the person that says, I I can learn this thing, I can learn the other thing, so that I do not necessarily need to wait on someone else to get things done. And that's a good thing.
And you know, when you go through you rise through the ranks, sometimes you don't get to speak much, but the people who watched your transition ends up doing the job for you. So I remember some time back, there was this issue on social media where I hardly jump on things, but I thought I could contribute to my quota. So I just wrote something on, and somebody came and say, "How do you even understand this thing?" I mean, you obviously know the kind of people that we have on socials. If you're not accommodative, you can't be able to. You need to know how you. And before I said Jack, I had about 6 people jumping on to say, "This woman, do you know where she started from?" It meant that people had actually watched you, seen how you transitioned and all that. Another thing I even told somebody was there is a very big artist in Ghana called Shatawale. I'm sure you all know him. When he went and came back, he was called Bandana. When he was rebranding, I was the first person somebody held the hand, the manager, to say, "Come, Veronica, I want you to do a whole story." I remember it's like it was yesterday. I want you to do a whole rebranding on Shatawale from Bandana to and I remember I did a whole exclusive story. Bandana from Ghana. Like, you know, when you are trying to tell a story, You want to tell where the person started from and all the
Yes.
way he's transitioned into. And I remember where I had to do one-on-one with them and all that. So today I sit back and I see people taking pictures and I say, hey, I was once part of this guy's career
I
transition when it
did the
comes
good
to,
work.
yeah. So yeah.
No, that's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I like that. Something that has also been quite emphasized on this podcast is the fact that the road to the top is not straight.
It's not.
It comes
Not.
with its different detours, and what's
We don't
important.
hammer that enough. Unfortunately, it's not easy.
It's not that what's important is that you actually are able to state the cause. And I think my next question would be, how have you been able to stay the course?
So I mean, when I got the opportunity to be a part of this whole PR fusion thing, let me be very honest. One of the things I couldn't wait to spell out was, if I was my younger self, things I wouldn't do. So you see, I'm the I'm the very aggressive and assertive kind of person. That's the kind of personality I have. I go to fish, I go to get it, and I don't care how. And sometimes, even when it meant stepping on toes, that is one. Two, even when I'm right, once I think I am right with something, I'm sorry, I am right, and nothing would let me change my mind. Three, I really don't care about, as at the time, like relationship, it's about getting the job done, and everybody gets to know that, yes, Veronica did this. And so along the way, you realize that there were a lot of battles that I had to fight, that I actually fought. That if I'm myself today, I'll be very selective of my battles that I fight within the corporate space.
Yeah.
Yes, who you fight, what you fight, and whether it is even worth your strength or your time or your energy at all. You know, because there are some people, they actually can't forgive. And if it meant they can't forgive and you end up meeting them in the boardroom where they are the only people who are to do that endorsement for you, it becomes a challenge. Of course, our destinies are not in people's hands. But as human as we are, there were times where my colleagues actually saw me as somebody, the person doing all the job in my department whilst my boss was there. And so, you know, when everybody enters the department, instead of going to your boss to speak to, they come to you. It was one of the very difficult things I needed to navigate, where you see another department, they're not in terms with your boss, and still a job has to be done. Your boss wants to find a way to, let's say, stretch the whole scenario, and you are the next person there for them to come to because you would get it done for them, and your boss is just watching you like that. And there are a lot of applause. Even your CEO walks to the office and he comes, hey, Veronica, the lady in blue, and your boss is there, and you know,
I know.
it was one of the, I would say, toughest moments that I had to, because in your mind, you really don't mean anything like somebody else would think. But
Yeah.
in another person's mind, oh, she's taking all the glory. So I think that's where the jittery, one of the things that I think I faced. And the fact that once I know I'm right, I would let you know that I am right. I don't think, as I sit here, if I'm right and you think I'm wrong, I just think that we have different perspectives. Because the number 6, if you turn it, is 9. And so I respect that. But that time, I would just say no. And I would debate till you get to the understanding that this is what it is. Yes, I think those were some of the things, trying to be too right. Yes, I am right. But, you know, sometimes you need to loosen up and let things go. You know, once it's the job and it has to be done, you don't mess with me, because if you're not serious, the term, or quote unquote, the assumption was, if you are not serious, you can't work with Veronica. So it got to a point where, you know, instead of people to work freely, there were a little bit of fear. Meanwhile, deep in me, it was just like the normal, free young lady who just want to impact. Like, you know, there wasn't a lot of times where I had to nurture relationship. But trust me, Blessing, I had a lot of great, amazing relationships that I just let it slide. That is called social capital. That I could have used it very well that time. But guess what? I was so keen on the work. There was a crisis I remember we had at Tigo where when I was doing my master's that time in 2015 when I had a call. My boss was there, but they had to call me and say, should we do this? I mean, I had all the connect, the links to a lot of like I became that powerful, I can say. So it was more, I guess, I may be wrong, but I guess it was more intimidating. So or to a lot of it. So those are some of the challenges that I had to navigate, trying to find it. And if everything you have to go to your boss, sometimes you go through a lot of process, and the process can actually even delay the things you do and all that. So
Yeah. Yeah, there's something that there's one of the laws of power that my dad always emphasized is
credit.
never outshine the master.
Yeah, give the credit to what's against lots of power. Yeah, I
Yeah.
find it as well. Yeah.
And as small as that's it's not small,
Sounds it's big.
but it's a big deal because
Yeah,
once
it's a
you
way that can change a lot of things to you.
completely like
I take my own share of that.
you just go through unnecessary struggles, you fight battles that you have no business fighting, just like you said.
Yeah.
And I hope that someone that's also listening here understands that relationships are very important. So
Very, very important.
one of my favorite things about being in PR is the fact that you have a lot of power. And maybe someone will say, oh, that'll make you a controlling person and all that. But it's not necessarily about the control. It's the fact that you know that I wield so much power, and if I don't know how to, it's like what we see in animations where somebody just comes into so much power and then they just start making a mess of everything because they don't know how to they don't know how to wield the power. And I can relate to you saying that you had so much power. Everybody was looking up to you for something that something that they could have actually been looking to the boss for. And then that just becomes an unnecessary problem for you. So what was the turning point for you?
I want to understand the question. So turning point in terms of career or how I overcame those challenges and all.
Yeah, so overcoming the challenges with managing the power that you knew that you had, with making sure that the power is not overpowering you, right?
Okay, so to be frank, I wasn't it didn't over me. Let me use that word. No. I think I didn't use it well in a sense that I could have nurtured relationships that today could have gotten me a lot of opportunities, but I was too busy with the job. For me, it was about ignoring myself, my personal growth, and everything was about the job. You know what I mean? I there was no single time that I was free for myself. I'm sure if I had not done my master's immediately, I wouldn't have done my master's. I'm sure. I mean, there wasn't any free time. Everything was about the job, and I thought that I could have given myself some time to learn, to grow, a lot of things like personal development. I didn't. Everything was about the job. And today, if I had that opportunity, whilst I'm working for somebody, I'm also looking at my personal development, things that I will not just shake because it's job. Because you know something, today you are here, tomorrow you are gone. You are as relevant as you are relevant. Let me repeat that again. You are as relevant as you are relevant. So you occupy this position, you are relevant. You are relevant because you are relevant for whatever it is. Once you are not there, trust me, it's not just this normal talk. Nobody would even remember you until you are making it. Nobody. And I mean, there's this usual cliche that, when you die, somebody will replace you. Of course.
Without
So
thinking
if all
twice.
these things are clear, it meant that you need to pay more attention to yourself. And I think I didn't do justice to that. It was now that I also got to know how to even nurture relationships, call people outside work, because there were a lot of opportunities that came to me. But for me, instead of me abusing it, I didn't do that. I didn't use it at all. Okay, if come, you need something, I've done it for you. Next time, don't call me. I don't need anything. It's fine. That was it. But there are other people who will be calling you for others and they'll be abusing. I didn't do that. But I'm saying if I was to nurture those relationships, trust me, my career would have gotten to another peak. So it was about how I would juxtapose a lot of things. And there's this thing that when you see this tree that is bent, you're not the only one seeing it. There are a lot of people who have also seen it. Don't be the first to say it. It is something that along the way I learned so hard. So you're not the only one seeing it. Why do you want to be the only person going to speak about it? Through corporate life, you get to understand the dynamics. It's not everything that you have to be. Sometimes you release yourself. You take things one at a time. So, yeah.
Comms of Africa, the Pan-African voice of communication, media, and content, connecting today's professionals and tomorrow's leaders across the continent.
So what happens if that thing is okay? Let me not assume, but let me just ask. Is there a time that you have just sat back and said, okay, let me not with getting older now and then saying, okay, I shouldn't have done some of these things. Is there a time that you have just sat down and said, okay, I should just leave this thing as it is, and then it spirals into a crisis or something that you didn't plan?
Can you repeat the question again?
So, has there been a time where instead of addressing the fact that tree is bent, or maybe that something is on the edge, right, and everybody else is seeing it, and you say, okay, let me not be the first person to address it because I'm trying to just step back, and when you're trying to step back, it now snowballs into a crisis?
Yes. So as I grew, as I moved from one business or company to the other, I started identifying some of the things that doesn't make me comfortable in an environment. So one of the key factors were environmental factors, where people's behavior or attitude now. But the key aspect was an environment. So I remember when I left Quick Angels in 2023, I quickly got an opportunity with an EdTech Canadian company. The money was good. I went on career. I'm on actually career break for some time. I'm just doing little bits of contract and all that. So when I took that EdTech Canadian company job, the first 1 week I got to the environment, I just wanted to study the environment because I've been through a lot of environments and I know how they behave. At this point, I don't need a lot of pressure. I don't need a lot of work, and I don't need a lot of stress. All I need is the right people to work with, and the right environment and the resources to be able to aid the processes through which I work. Now, my second week, I realized that the environment was a wrong environment. Unfortunately, the second week, we had to launch something. And I said, let's do this, let's do that. And they were trying to tell me how they do it. With the experiences that I have, I took a step back. And I said, okay, I wrote an email to say, this is what I think is the best way to go about it. However, Blessing proposes that I'll propose that we do it this way. And so as such, this is the itinerary I was sending to the business owner. And he said, okay, let's go with Blessing's own. And on the day of the launch, things didn't go as planned. But guess what? Unlike previous, I would have said, okay, since it didn't work, we still sat. We judged. We said, okay, next time, let's do it this way. That's why I proposed it that way, so we could do better. But in my mind, it wasn't an environment that would help. So just in a month, after we have launched and we have actually done a lot of visibility for media publications, I resigned. You know why? Mm-hmm. Because my value, my integrity, my sanity, for me now, everything about working environment has to do with these. If it doesn't fit or qualify, I wouldn't want to. We are getting into our fourth floor, and I really don't think that we need things that can let us die before our time. And environment is key. Yep. Attitudes are key. You can't really force it, but you can manage. But the ones that you can't manage or you can't compromise, you advise yourself. And I think everything bounces back to you. So instead of not saying, no, at first, no, let's do it this way, that's the best way, no. But I'll only tell you, okay, and I will document it for you to know that this was what I said, and let's go. And when it doesn't even go right, I won't take a step back. I'll let us judge for the future. And when I think it is not something that can help me going forward, and I can just walk away, can walk away. The good thing about going through corporate a lot of times, like getting all these experiences, when you gather yourself and you're able to save money and all that, you know the things that you can walk away easily. You walk away just for your own sanity and everything. It helps a lot.
Yeah. Money is not everything, actually.
Yeah. It is everything, but it is not everything.
It is money answers all things, but money is not everything, because your peace of mind, your sanity,
it's quite critical.
They're very important. Okay, so if you could go back and say one truth to your younger self, you said you would say tomorrow is not promised. Do it now. What does doing it now mean to you?
Don't postpone. Because if you postpone, you would never know who is coming up. I keep saying ideas, everybody has an idea. You see, this moment that you are thinking about producing this EP, this year, whatever, somebody else is thinking about the same thing. You are thinking about bringing this, somebody else is thinking about it. And the funny thing about this whole production or manufacturing is today you are thinking about it, but tomorrow there is an advanced version of what you are thinking about.
Yeah.
And so once you wait, your own will be achieved. So if you can, just start it. You would never know. If you can, just start it. And there should always be a room for you to learn, unlearn, and relearn. It's very, very important. I would want to be very relevant. I'm not the type that want to be popular. I choose relevance over popularity. But at the same time, there are spaces where you go because of how I'm assertively diplomatic. I call myself that. I'm very assertive, but I'm very diplomatic as well. So there are a lot of places I would want to go, but there are some things within that environment or that space, even when I go, I wouldn't want to do. That meant that when you find yourself in that space, how do you even carry yourself? You have to learn. You have to unlearn. You have to relearn to be able to adjust to conditions, to situations, to environment, to attitude, to different people and all that. And I judge less as well. I used to judge a lot. So
why does that sound like me?
So I see you are always every day it's like you are sick, and I want to say Blessing is lazy. No. I used to think those times you are lazy, but now because of experiences and exposure, I would want to think, is she having any challenge that I could come in? What could it be? Can I speak to her? So in those instances where I would just relegate you to the background because I'm the boss, today I will call you and have a conversation with you. Ask how best I can help you, because I wouldn't know what you are going through. And I keep saying everybody has a challenge one way or the other. Until you engage them, you think they are fine. But until you do that, you don't assume. So as in whether judging or assuming, I have stopped that. But those times, I don't have too much time. I would say, I got to move. Like, Yes. But today, I'll call, we have to sit, we have conversations, then we know the best way solutions. And sometimes even people within your teams, they may not be the best people, but I keep saying they could actually be fixed at places where they can function better. So can you sit down with them to understand what are the dynamics? What can they do better? Maybe they came in as internal communication officers, but they realize that is not their strength. Like, you don't have a lot of time and you're too busy, like my former or my younger self. You want to say, take this person out, bring this person in because I want results. But as I sit here, I would want to engage to know where you fit. You can still contribute to your quota to the overall organizational goal at the end of the day, that you have an objective to say that Blessing was able to do this to contribute to a quota to the business, not necessarily in Veronica's department, but in another department that he was able to function well.
Yeah. And that's very important because everybody has a certain level of a certain strength that you don't even know until you maybe stumble upon or just are able to dig out from having conversations with them. So it's really important that we're able to judge people less and then give them grace.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. So let me ask you about you speaking about doing stuff now, and then there's also the reality of waiting for the perfect moment.
I don't really believe there is any perfect moment, but I
No,
believe
Victor,
sometimes.
Veronica, wait. Veronica, wait first. So I'm not speaking about you. I'm speaking about a younger person, right? Yes, I agree that there's no perfect moment. There are some that you do and then you just fall flat on your face. And there are some that you do and it's like, oh, I'm glad that I did it when I did it. But there is also the fear of overthinking, and there's the fear of procrastination, and then um, waiting for the perfect moment, basically. Now, I know that you are an up and doing person. You are the person that wants to just get it done right now because tomorrow is not promised. But for somebody else that thinks that God has blessed them with a very long life, and they see that someone else started a business at 70 and they're thriving, and someone else is getting a PhD at 80 and they're doing great, they're like, okay, time is not ended. So what would you say to that person? And do you think that there's a way, now looking with your lens of grace, there's a way that they can just understand that you have to just get on it right now?
Okay, you see, there are times where people try and they don't get results. It's a different thing. And there are times where people don't try at all. And there are times where people have connections and they can wait at any time, and those connections are still waiting for them because they can jump on at any time. And there are times where people don't have that luxury. So that is where the differentiator comes in. So let me be very typical here. I'm on career break currently as I sit here. Whoever is listening to me currently who is at the crossroads, go and type or watch out for one guy called Fifi Anaman. He used to be one of the biggest young sports presenters. For about 10 years, he was off and he didn't even have any plan. But this is somebody who didn't even have anything to hold on to. No links, no connection, no friends. People who even knew he could do a lot of things were not even reaching out. But when you are in such situations and you are at the crossroads where you realize that you want to do the thing, but nothing is working, sometimes give things to God. I'm not the type that's preaches so much about biblical, but trust me, sometimes as I sit here, I do not have any plan. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
That's very honest.
No. I don't have any plan. I don't have any plan. So my plan A is God, my plan B is God, and my plan C is God. So if God is listening, He knows it. But that's my plan. And that is not to say, once I have my plan A, plan B, plan C as God, I've checked the things that I have to know. I'm looking at schools, I'm looking at other stuff. There are little contracts that come my way. Of course, I stay in my own house and I have my own one or two things I can juggle around. But I'm on career because I think I need it. Sometimes you just need that break to think, to get refreshed and re-energized, to start all over again. Because you have worked. And I'm saying there are some people, they don't have anything to hold on to at all. Do your best. Don't wait, but pray. At that juncture, let God be the center. Is your plan A, your plan B, your plan C. But when it comes to God, He works with His time. Yes. And when the time too is right, you know that He's a showman. Yes, that's it. But when you can lift your hands and can touch something, please don't wait. Don't procrastinate. Because you and I know that it's obviously the thief of time. And so you wouldn't want to. So anything. So currently as I speak to you, I'm on a lot of mentorship things that I'm doing that are actually free. But I think that it's something that can actually add on to my portfolio. So you see, even though I have plan A as God, plan B as God, plan C as God, there are still things that I'm doing. Like every week, there is somebody that I'm mentoring through grants, communication strategy, and all that. And I feel fulfilled through that. It's not just one person, 2, 3, 4 people. And so they are all part of the things that we actually do. So you may not necessarily go and work to get that thing, but is there something that you could do? Some people even do backyard farming and they end up thinking, oh, now I know I can actually do farming and I was wasting all my time. I've been seeing a lot of testimonies where people say, I didn't think farming could even give me a lot of money because they never thought, and their dream job of becoming accountants actually ended up in the whatever. So they had to fall on doing the backyard. That eventually sparked their interest in farming. So the issue of waiting, I want to encourage, unless you have nothing like a zero thing to hold on to.
Which hardly ever happens, that there is zero to hold on to. Thank you. What was one lesson that I mean, you've talked about learning, unlearning, and relearning, and I actually agree with that, because that's how I have also come out from a place of having a judgmental outlook on life to now learning to give people grace, even and then also try to think of the best of people. What would you say is one lesson that you have had to relearn more than once, and maybe you have had to relearn it the hard way?
Listening. You know, when you know too much is a challenge.
Yes.
I'm telling you, when you know too much, it's one of the I'll say it's one of the biggest challenges if you don't manage it. So you know, when you know something is green, and you are hearing Blessing saying it is blue, you can't stand it. If you want to tell Blessing, young lady, it's blue, it's green, it's not blue. This dress is green. I say no, it's blue, and you want to laugh, but see, there's another aspect to it. Just listen. Like I'm saying, you may never know the perspective that you're coming from. So I try to listen to whatever. And sometimes when you know too much, you don't want to listen because you also want to air your voice or your opinion. I've learned to listen a lot. That is one. And to let go. It's not every battle that you have to fight. Sometimes, even when you are right, let go. How easy it is for you to let go when you know you are right. I'm just letting you know some of the things, even now, people still at my college are like, my sister wouldn't do, but me, I would just have to let things go. Not because I just want to let it go. You know why? Just for peace and sanity.
Yes.
And especially to my younger self, when you are growing within an environment, you really don't want to pick up some battles. You want to let things go. And sometimes it may figure you as a fool, and the person who speaks their mind as the hardest person, but no, let things go. And even if you know, listen, because there might be something in there that you gotta know.
Yes, and there's also the thing about perspectives. The fact that you are saying green and the other person is saying blue. What if the person is colorblind? And you could actually just offer some sympathy at that time. So yeah, I understand you completely. Thank you. My last question to you is, if you had to wrap up your advice in one sentence to the next generation of comms leaders in Africa, what would it be?
I wouldn't even do it in one sentence because I've written a whole lot. I said so for me, regardless of where you get to, who you become, it's okay to give yourself a career break to start all over again. This time you may start energized and refreshed for the next phase, and always be prepared to work on your finances because it is everything in times like this. Have social currency. When you are working and you are strong enough, build relationship and be good to nurture it. Don't just build relationship and leave it there, because every step that you go, it's a way to rekindle what you have built on. A new person that you meet who can reintroduce you is very, very, very important. Pay attention to self-development rather than visibility. Young people, when they get any platform, they want everybody to know them. They want to be visible. No. Visibility without any substance ends up with nothing. So pay attention to self-development more than visibility. And yes, I know you want to work too serious like I used to be, and I'm hard on myself because I want to get results and all that. But look, you are as relevant as you are alive. You die today, somebody else occupies what you do. Always prepare for tomorrow whilst you're enjoying today. And why? Be authentically you. You have to be really authentically you, because life has a way it throws challenges unexpectedly. You never know. Your associations matter a lot. Discern and choose wisely. Your associations matter a lot. It's my key thing here. Your association matters a lot. Discern and choose wisely. They say no pain, no gain. So risk it all as much as you can. Largely, you can see the perfect picture from there. And above all, whether you are wasting time, you're doing all the things that are being hard on yourself, still, give time some time. In anything, in everything, you'll be fine. Yeah, so I end my signature. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So Ines, let me quickly come in, okay, on the relationship. Currently, one of my mentees that I'm handling, I'm working on building relationships. So I remember when I gave her the outline, she actually crossed out relationship because she thinks she was there. And I insisted I wanted to tackle that course. When we finished that, she told me, yes. So let me tell you, when we finished treating that course or that session, she told me that, do I know something throughout the entire course? That is one of the main things that has stuck with her until even we finish, because she has destroyed a lot of relationships. So let me tell you, you go for events, you meet people, you do things. There are a lot of ways we build relationships. Sometimes through your network, let's say there is a community of communications professionals or virtual assistantship. So you build relationships from there. That is one aspect. There is an aspect of even social media where you build relationships from. And there is an aspect of where when you go for events and workshops, you see resource people and you want to take their contact. This is a way we build relationships. You don't go and say, hi, Veronica, how are you? She's not your friend. She's not your friend. You are trying to build a relationship with somebody. So you have gotten Veronica's number for a while after the engagement or workshop. Hello, ma'am. My name is Eunice Samuel. I'm the lady that came to you. Today, your lecture was so fantastic. A key aspect of it for me was the fact that you said relevant, whatever relevant. Thanks so much. I'll be looking out for other events that you'll be speaking. I don't mind if you share links. Leave it there. It's not your friend to keep checking on how are you this morning. I guess you are good. See, it's not your friend. You need to differentiate. I'm letting you, that is where people get tired. That's where people get tired. When the Veronica is celebrating her birthday, she's all over. Everybody is wishing her happy birthday. Hello, ma'am. Happy birthday. I saw some posts on social media that suggest, may you have a long life. So even when Veronica is not thinking about you, she knows that, at this particular critical times, Eunice gets to me. You come to mind. I have a mentee that I prioritize so much. She's not at my face. She's not saturated, but she has a way. She gets to me. Sometimes I sit back and say, wow, Gloria is doing so well, But the moment they get somebody's number, they are with some people and they want to call the people to even let them know that they know them. That's not how we work and we nurture relationships. No. And don't bombard them with messages when they are not relevant. That is when they run away. That is when the moment they see and you are calling them, they are not your co-equal. I'm not saying you're not all human beings, but there is a way you nurture it. It's like a guy coming to woo you. If every day the person is calling, you get tired. Won't you get tired? Even what is this guy coming to do? Do you get it? So there is a way. So once in a while, you check on them. How are you doing? Once in a while, if you have very relevant things, you share with them. Sometimes through email or text. Yes. Every wise mentor will find a way to reach out. Trust me. On social media, because you want to be relevant at her face, she posts something that is getting a lot of, you go to comment. When I was told to write or contribute to a book, one of my mentees just came to write on and say, somebody said there's a mentorship. Then he came to tag me to say, Veronica is one of the ones that you can never, and the people reach out. I'm not saying that is what you should go and do, but I'm saying, you see how the person is actually trying to nurture. In my mind, she's a Nigerian. She's called Ekom Joseph. She's one of my best because she knows how to make. And sometimes I feel so proud because I taught well. Do you get it? But hello, good morning. I hope you are eating this. It's not your friend. But when it comes to the speakers, the resource people, have a very diplomatic way of reaching out. It would be an everlasting relationship. when it comes to communities, let's say PR Fusion, anything, you can say, hello, PR Fusion. I'm just saying, I have this interesting topic that I think you can treat. Then you share with them. That is when you become relevant in their books. You have a colleague who can actually link you up to some job somewhere. You see something called like, hello, Blessing, I think this job is a wonderful thing. Can we explore? That is when you come into their mind. But when you are always saturated at their faces, it becomes too much for them to. But so in nature, I don't mind if you can just hi me on WhatsApp. I can help you on how to navigate through these connections, and also you don't look like a problem or a challenge for any person that you try to associate with. I don't mind at all.
Thank you so much.
So that's basically the brief that I can give you on that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I would be sure to message you on WhatsApp. It's been a really great session. Thank you so much, PR Fusion, for bringing all this together. It's a really great initiative, impacting the lives of young, early stage professionals in comms and PR. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Look at you, fast learner. Fast learner. You have learned from Veronica in how many minutes?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Veronica. Do you have your letter ready?
Letter?
You're supposed to read your letter to your younger self.
Oh, I think I read it. So let me read that again.
Okay. Oh yes, I think that you took some pieces from it, right?
So yes, if you don't mind. So I started by saying it's okay to give yourself a career break, to start all over again. You may start refreshed and more energized for the next phase. But then again, always be prepared financially when the time comes. Therefore, your financial literacy is essential because, of course, you can't go on career break for 2 years and expect how your finances will go. So you have to be prepared. Have social currency. You know what it does, right? Have values, have standards, have integrity, and above all, make God the center of everything you do. Pay attention to self-development than visibility. You know, young people don't want to be on social media, they want to be popular, they want to get a lot of likes, but important or relevance is more accurate and critical than just being popular. At your workplace, don't be too serious or too hard on yourself, because you know something, you're as relevant as you are alive today. You die today, another occupies your role tomorrow. Therefore, pay attention to your health and never postpone that checkup. You are as relevant as you are relevant. I said, read that again. You are as relevant as you are relevant. Make good use of opportunities wisely. And if you are not on that seat you are on today, that aura ends. Disappointments always show up unexpectedly. So always be prepared for tomorrow, but be sure to enjoy today. It's okay to grieve when somebody's worrying you, your work is not working, people are disturbing you, your boyfriend, whatever. It's okay to grieve. It's part of life. There is nothing under this earth that hasn't happened before. Is it divorce? It has happened. Is it childbirth? It has happened. Is it dismissal? It has happened. Is it termination? It has happened. Is it unemployment? It has. Everything under this earth, under the sun, has ever happened before. So don't let challenges take away your joy. Associations matter a lot. However, discern and choose wisely. There is this popular adage that no pain, no gain. So as much as possible, risk it all. Because largely, you might see the perfect picture from there. Regardless of everything that I've said, give time some time. In anything, in everything, you'll be fine. I end mine.
What a conversation with Veronica. What a conversation, from learning not to chase being right at all costs to remembering that relationships and social capital are just as critical as the work itself. There's been so much to take away from this conversation. I especially love how she reminded us that you are as relevant as you are alive, present, and relevant. That those who you claim to that those who you choose to align with also matter, and that sometimes the wisest thing that you can do is just pause, take a break, reflect, and invest in your own growth above visibility. If this session spoke to you, I'd love for you to keep the conversation going. Share the podcast episode with someone you know will be blessed by it. And if you haven't already, why? Just hit the follow button on your podcast app on Spotify so that you can never miss a story. And of course, also subscribe to our channel on YouTube so that you never miss an episode. You can also connect with us on Instagram at PR Fusions Podcast and on LinkedIn as well at PR Fusions Podcast. We would love to hear your thoughts, your reflections, and even the lessons you tell your younger self. Thank you for listening to My Younger Self. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and keep giving yourself grace. Bye-bye.
To My Younger Self is brought to you by PR Fusions Africa in collaboration with Comms Mentorship Circle.